Agile data, what is it? Who is it for? How is it used? Who actually uses it? And does it help the person it should, the farmer? Join me on our journey together. I'm Andy Hodges, your host on Sustainability Unplugged. Plug in and let's make sustainability happen. Hello and welcome to Sustainability Unplugged, brought to you by the Committee on Sustainability Assessment, COSA. I'm your host, Andy Hodges. This is the second of our 6-part Agile Data in Action series. Now, in our first episode, we journeyed with COSA across 3 countries, Zimbabwe, Malawi, and Uganda, to uncover how innovative data-driven approaches are transforming agriculture and uplifting the livelihoods of farmers. Now, I'll ask you a question. Have you ever been to Burundi? Well, today, I'm going to take you there. We'll join COSA as we discuss the introduction and development of an Agile Data App specifically for farmers. Here on Sustainability Unplugged, I will be following along with you COSA's year-long progression from the introduction of the app, challenges faced, how they are being overcome, and how farmers are using it, and most importantly, does and will the app help farmers or not? Liam Brody, CEO of the Committee on Sustainability Assessment, COSA. Again, welcome to Sustainability Unplugged. So Liam, why are you creating an app? What is it? Who for? And why Burundi?
I think we all know information is key. Data is the new gold. We need information about all kinds of things. We need information about where products come from, perhaps the product quality, maybe the cost. But we also want to know who grew that product. We might want to know, was that product grown in compliance with certain social and environmental standards? All fair things that consumers are asking who want to participate in a more ethical supply chain, a more ethical food and agricultural system. But here's the challenge. We all know this. Data can be really expensive to collect. It can take a lot of time to collect. Sometimes you can collect data and it's just not valid. It's just inaccurate. And so you really need accurate data in order to do something with it. You need data that can be affordable. And so that's the real question. How do you crack that nut? How do you start to lower cost? How do you shorten the time it takes to get data? But how do you do that in a way that's equally valid? So COSA is working to change this equation by developing a new tool. This tool is an app. It's an app that sits on an Android phone, and that it's made to work in markets where you have really low bandwidth. It's made to work super simply for farmers depending on their level of numeracy or literacy, so they can participate and engage, and they can begin to track their own data. And once that goes into a system, we have the opportunity to share that data if the farmers would like it. And that data can be shared with their primary buyers, an amazing partner that we're collaborating with, a woman-owned business in Burundi called J&P Coffee, that just does incredible work with hundreds and hundreds of women across Burundi. And what we're doing is we're tightening their ability to communicate and see the same picture. But not only those 2 links in the chain, we're also then connecting buyers ultimately of that coffee to be able to connect in, and ultimately consumers. And so they can be one piece of one chain of continuity that really connects them. And it starts with this new app, which can be put in the hands of farmers. They can start to understand what their data is telling them and make better decisions about their own agricultural production, their own farming decisions day over day, year over year, and drive their own futures.
So imagine an affordable app that can be used anywhere in the field by farmers, even in remote locations, and brings them the information they require at the click of a button. As Liam said, data is king. It really is fascinating. The app, I understand, is being created to meet a specific need. Dr. Elena Sefinipi, Research Director at COSA. Elena, what was that need?
We are overcoming the problem of measurement errors by introducing real-time data collection through an app installed on a farmer's phone. We aim to receive two main research goals. The first one is to give to the farmers the possibility to have electronic registry in which they can track all their activities performed every day. And the second one is actually to track the actual income and the cost of production related to coffee. At the end of the project, we will be able to compare the app with also other ways of collecting data in the field, for example, in-person interviews. We look forward to share the results with the overall community. I'm sure that they will be impressed. I'm excited about it.
Apart from giving farmers real-time information, remember our series on EUDR, which I know you watched? Well, this app may actually support EUDR's call for compliance or even be a source for research-based input. Creating an effective Agile Data App is not necessarily a simple task. So how is it being done? Well, Silvia Kalfrat, Senior Project Manager, COSA, welcome to Sustainability Unplugged. Silvia, COSA is developing the app. Have you faced any challenges or not?
We decided to develop an app that would maintain the COSA rigor in data collection. So our first challenge was to simplify the survey in a way that would maintain the validity of the data. Our next step was to work with the developer to simplify the content in a way that it could be understandable by the farmers, who in many cases don't know how to use this kind of technology to input data. We also had to think about if the farmers had access to smartphones, if they had power in their households, and if in the country there was network connectivity so they could be sending this data on a daily basis.
So this is why we call it Agile Data. Real-time data collection, farmer-centric, cost-effective, and adaptable. And JMP Coffee is one of COSA's key partners on the ground in Burundi. Their vision is to elevate Burundi specialty coffee to the world market and improve the lives of the farmers and producers. Janine Niozima Arian, the founder and owner of JMP Coffee, welcome to Sustainability Unplugged. Janine, the core purpose of the app is to understand the cost of production. I assume, of course, that farmers will definitely need to know their costs, profits, and maybe even losses. Janine, am I on the right track?
The reason that we are doing this work, it's so important because there is no baseline right now to understand what is really the energy, the time, the cost that it takes for the farmers to put into producing coffee. At the end of the day, understand if the farmers are getting actual enough income to be able to live off. And as you probably know, in Burundi, farmers, coffee is just one part of the equation. They also have other things that they do to have enough income for the families. The reason we're also doing this project, which is going to take a year-long project, it is because our clients have been asking about what is the cost of coffee in Burundi? What is the income of the farmers in Burundi? Are they actually receiving enough income to live off?
Showing costs, profits, and even losses. It seems this app will do just that. So Janine, when you have the agile data and information, I suppose the million-dollar question, what will you use it for?
The technology they are putting in place to actually collect this data is going to be able to give us some actual information instead of using numerators that come in the field after a while and then ask information to the farmers of what they have done, the costs, things that have cost them after a year because they don't have any recollection. So the idea about using this agile technology is going to allow us to collect information in real time and also collect accurate information that we can also not only collect for ourselves, but also be able to send some also farmers some feedback on maybe some of the things they can do to improve the way they work in the field, or what they might be able to improve as well for their own production and the such. So it's a very exciting project for us. And also with the new era, with the EUDR that I'm sure most of you know about, nobody knows what's going on in the field. But luckily, with this technology, we are going to be able to take some pinpoints and really with the GPS be able to know exactly where the farmer is located and also hopefully what's going on at the farm, so we can be able to prove that there is no deforestation where the coffee is coming from Burundi with farmers within our network. And hopefully everybody is going to be successful and also give us more information again to find out where are the gaps, if there is any intervention that we need to be doing to try to supplement, in the lack of certain things that we might be able to discover throughout this process.
So this appears to be a particularly complex app with several challenges to overcome, but COSA, by bringing a collaborative approach, seems to be equipped to make this happen and up to the challenge. Look, there's no point in me talking about any type of app without hearing from the end users themselves to hear their point of view. Of course, I'm talking about farmers and their communities.
Inyigisho bahejeje kuduha ni inyigisho nziza zadushimishije kandi twabonye ko ari inyigisho zoroshe. Gukoresha ubwo buhinga bizotugirira akamaro kuko umurimyi azotegerezwa kubona ubuhombe yagize canke inyungu yagize ku bikorwa azoba yakoreye mu gipimo ciwe. Nk'intambamyi twabonyemwo ni zijanye n'ukuntu ibirere bitari bimeze neza, naho ibindi vyose twabonye bimeze neza.
Ico nabonye bizodufasha kumenya uko tuzotegura igiterwa cacu c'ikawa, kandi tumenye ko twahora dukorera mu buhombe, ubu tugiye kumenya ko tugiye gukorera tumenya ko twunguka. Oya, nta ntambamyi zihari. Icotubera intambamyi nuko ubumenyi bwoba buke, ubwo ubumenyi bubaye bwinshi gishobora kugenda neza.
Yego biroroshe kuko turiko turavyitegereza, kubera nibi ntavyo twari tuzi, ariko twitegereje ukungene muriko murabiduha turumva mu mitima yuko birimwo. Tuzofata umwanya wo gukomeza tuvyiga kuko ntiwokwiga rimwe ngo uce utahura.
Ivyo bintu bizodufasha ubwa mbere twaguma dukora tutazize ukuntu twunguka canke duhomba. Duhomba tutunguka ntacyo twamenya. Ariko kweza uno musi mwaduha inyigisho y'ukuntu zoza turabigenza. Duharura ivyo twakoresheje, twongera turaba n'imyimbu twakuyemwo mu giterwa c'ikawa.
Farmers and their communities love the idea of Agile Data App. It's a work in progress, of course, but the initial feedback is incredibly positive, and we'll be following this closely over the next year to see if farmers' expectations are being met, despite some of the challenges that even they have highlighted. I, for one, will be watching closely to see how this unfolds and how it will benefit farmers in Africa and around the world. You have been watching Sustainability Unplugged, brought to you by the Committee on Sustainability Assessment, COSA. Look out for episode 3 in our Agile Data in Action series. Honduras, here we come. I'm Andy Hodges. Plug in and let's make sustainability happen.